Welcome back to ZANTASTIC. This is the podcast where we talk about what makes you fantastic. Underneath it all, you are perfect. But we carry around so many stories, so many things that we think we need to do, so many things we've inherited from parents, from society, all of these stories, all of these programs that we're running. And we believe that we should all over ourselves. It takes a lot of work to get back to who we really are and to fully know who we are so that we can live a life that is worth living by our own standards. We have to let go of all of those stories and all of those programs, all of those things that we think we should do in order to have some kind of achievement, have some kind of outcome that we believe is going to make us happy. But here's the thing. Often, the things that are going to make us happy are not necessarily these giant, huge accomplishments. They are often the small things, going for a walk with your dog, spending time listening to music, spending time with loved ones, family members. I was recently watching a video of people who were in their 90s, and the interviewer was asking them questions about their life, like what did they regret? What do they wish they could tell their 20-year-old self? What would they do differently? And all of them said that they wish they had had more fun. They had made more time to just have more fun. And I look around my life sometimes, and like the last time that I went and had my hair done, the hairdresser said, "Well, what are you doing for fun this weekend?" And I said, "I'm cleaning the grout on my kitchen floor." Not exactly a fun thing. And she started asking me, "Well, what do you do for fun?" And I started looking around at my life and realized that I was not doing a heck of a lot of fun things. I was doing a lot of things that I thought were good for me to do, or things that I was supposed to do, or things that I had some motivation to do, like getting my book written, Stroke of the Genius, and getting that published and getting that out there. I was spending all of my time working, doing tons of things that I believed I should do, I had to do, because, well, I had to do. I mean, there's work, there's stuff that we have to do. But I wasn't spending enough time, I wasn't making enough time to have fun in my life. Now, I do have fun. I love my dogs. I love my kids. I love my husband. I love my friends. I do make time to have fun, but there's no like real big, huge thing that I do. It was at that moment I made a decision. I made a decision that I was going to allow myself micro vacations. Now, in the past, I traveled a lot. I would travel at least once a month and go to events where I knew everybody, and even the people I didn't know. I'm a very social, outgoing person. I could have a conversation with anyone about anything, and a lot of that's changed. My job does not require travel right now, and I haven't gone on a trip since almost a year ago, and I need a change of scenery. I need a vacation, but right now it's just not in the cards. Too much going on, too much chaos. I do have some trip that I'm trying to make happen later this fall, but I'm in desperate need of a change of scenery, especially in Texas in the summertime. It's time to get away. And it hasn't even been that hard of a summer here in Texas, but part of the reason we settled on moving to Phoenix and then later Dallas is there were direct flights to Medford, Oregon, so I could get back to Mount Shasta, which is my home on planet Earth. But I haven't been back in a few years, and I am missing it to the point where I'm spending a little bit too much time watching videos about mountains. I need vacation. So since I can't make that happen right now, I decided to give myself permission to have micro vacations. And my idea for a micro vacation was to get a guided meditation and to just let myself drift for 30 minutes every single day. It changed me, and that's why I'm talking about it today. It's not necessarily that I'm having fun. I do find the guided meditations a lot of fun. I feel refreshed. I feel optimistic. I feel better after I do them. But it changed something within me. I no longer had this drive to go make something happen. I no longer had this drive to like create this big new thing. Instead, I decided I just wanted to live more in the moment, to spend more time just being me. And as I started doing that, weird things started happening. Instead of being more in the sort of yang energy of going out and getting something and making something happen, I found myself spending more time in yin energy, which is much more attractive energy, which is more receptive energy. And I started finding that weird things started happening. People would watch content on my YouTube channel, security content, and then they would go buy a course or they would hire me to do coaching. And it didn't make any sense. It didn't make sense because it's two very disparate things, right? Marketing tells you that you pick a niche, you communicate to that niche, and then that niche shows up and buys things from you. Security content does not necessarily translate into somebody buying my manifestation course. It doesn't translate into somebody buying my books. It doesn't translate into the spirituality type of content that I'm creating, which I'm much more leaning into now. None of it made sense. But what I started to realize is that people were seeing something in the security content about me. And because I was putting things out there, the receptiveness, that yin energy that I was finding myself in, I was allowing the universe to kind of work through me. It's not up to me to decide how this is all going to work. I stopped trying to control the entire experience. Instead, I was just allowing, because I distracted myself. I got myself out of my own head. I got myself out of my shoulds, and I've got to make these big things happen, and got myself into a place of whatever, whatever the universe wants to do with the content I've created. I hope it helps someone. I do all of this stuff because I want to empower people to better secure their lives, to live a better life, to find more abundance, to find more meaning in their relationships, all of that kind of thing. I want to help people. I mean, that's my primary motivator. But I stopped trying to make all of that happen. I gave myself those micro vacations, and I just let go, surrendered, allowed the universe to do whatever the universe wanted to do. And when you go into that place of allowing, of being receptive, of being more open as a vessel to receive, miracles happen. Things that don't make sense start happening. You start getting the things that you want without having to try so hard. You try hard to create, right? You try hard to create a great product, to create a great service, to do the things that you're supposed to be doing, put yourself out there, right? But after that, it's up to the universe. And the more I let go and allowed myself micro vacations, the more it just all kind of started just working out. Some of the cool things that happened are that a book review site reviewed my book. I was approached by a publisher to publish my book. I'm not going to take them up on it because I don't like the terms of the contract, but that inspired me to go submit my book to a bunch of agents, and I don't know what's going to happen with that. I have no control. Once I've submitted, it's really up to them to respond, right? So it's beyond me. I just have to do the participatory work as I am inspired to do it. It's really the only way to do work as far as I'm concerned. If you are an entrepreneur, you have to pay attention to what's going on in the market, pay attention to opportunities, show up and participate. But beyond that, if you really want to have an amazing life experience, you have to be open to the universe putting all the pieces together. And I'm starting to see that that's way more comfortable than trying to control everything, trying to make things happen. Yes, you show up, you participate, you cross your T's, you dot your I's, you do the work. You do what you know needs to happen. But beyond that, if you really want the big things to happen, you do that to a point and then you let the miracle happen. All of the things that have happened to me throughout the course of my entire life, all of the things that I truly value have been things that I couldn't dream up. They weren't things that I went out and tried to make happen. Take, for example, when I moved to Mount Shasta, we were there on vacation and there were all these shooting stars, and I was in this bedroom that had a glass ceiling and I could see all these shooting stars, and I was holding my baby Claire in my arms and I was watching all of these shooting stars. And I was making a wish on every single one that I could live there. And I didn't know how that was going to happen. And then a few months later, we got a call from one of my husband's friends who said, there's this house. And the house was nothing I had manifested. It just showed up because I made a wish and then let go and allowed and surrendered. I didn't think it was going to happen. And yet it did. Somebody heard those wishes that I had made on those shooting stars. And then once I was living there and looked around and studied the real estate market, I realized that we had experienced a miracle. I'd gotten everything that I had wanted and more, things that I didn't even know I wanted. I didn't know I wanted a golden retriever, and I met my neighbor's dog and I wanted a golden retriever. I made friends that are still my friends today, even though I don't live there anymore. I made connections and it became my home on earth. It became a miraculous experience that I could have never controlled. I could have never designed it. Even meeting my husband, who's calling me right now, so I'll be wrapping up shortly. Even meeting my husband was something that I couldn't control, but I was having dreams about Texas, and I was having dreams about Matthew McConaughey, and I was like, what's this all about? It opened me up enough that I was like, I think I'm supposed to go to Austin. And when an email came through of an event in Austin for somebody I didn't even really know that well, my husband was one of the speakers, and I met him, and it changed my whole life. Not something I was looking for. In fact, something I wasn't exactly looking for at all, nor was he. But the miracle of just letting go and not wanting, not needing, just allowing and paying attention to the signs, participating in the messages that the universe, that God, that my higher self was dropping in of what my next step was. So these micro vacations that I'm taking right now are opening me up to allowing. I don't know what it's going to allow me into. I have some ideas. I've put out, another request. I haven't seen any shooting stars lately, but I put out another request of what's next. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, but I am surrendered to it and on vacation. What else do you do in August in Texas? It's hot. I'm sweating right now. So I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to go see what my husband needs. I hope this episode opened you up to think about the things that you want in your life, where you might be going next. You might not even necessarily know what's next. You might have an inkling of a desire, some small little voice within you that knows that you want something more. That something more is going to happen, but it's not going to happen necessarily in the way that you are going to control and make magic happen. You have to let go and let magic happen. When you can let magic happen, it becomes even more fulfilling. It's more than what you want. It's more than what you could have ever dreamed up. It's going to surprise you. The universe likes surprises. The universe likes to show you how open you can be. So thanks for listening. I hope this episode was helpful to you, and we will see you next time on ZANTASTIC.